Hey everyone, welcome to our crypto coaching call. We have closed the first month of 2023 and it has been quite a good for everyone. I think also stocks are looking good. We have relatively good economic data. The GDP is above the forecasted. We also have unemployment above the forecasted. Although the economists are saying here that they're not that optimistic. We also had the Fed rate hike, which was expected, 25 basis points, and the picture macro-wise is starting to look pretty decent, I would say. I don't think we're out of the woods, and we're going to look into the scenarios in just a little bit in crypto. But I definitely think the bottom might have been in. Yes, I'm gonna go on record and say this. I've been notoriously bad at predicting stuff, and that's why I don't like predicting stuff. I just like to have plans and be prepared. But as you can see here in January, we were up 39, almost 40% from the lows, and we have engulfed pretty much with this massive candle pretty much the last 6 months. And right now we are at a key level around 24K, which is previous resistance here in the months of, what is that, July and August last year. So the monthly is starting to look good, but still this is pretty much a range, I would say. And I wouldn't say that we're totally out of the bear market. I'm still considering this to be a bear market rally, and we need to see, if we go down to the weekly, we need to see where the where the higher low potentially will end up being. Because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row of green. This week we'll probably close red, which I think is great, but we need to see if we're gonna hold support maybe somewhere in this area. Maybe we could go down lower around 20K. I would say that even if we go further down to around 18, 19K, which has been the support for quite a while here, as you can see through this area, if we hold this, I will still be turning a little bit bullish. Because this will be again within this consolidation range, I would say, and we would have our first higher low here. We still don't have a massive higher high here. Yeah, we took out these couple of lower highs, sorry, here. But the one that I'm really watching is this, because it's also confluence, as you just saw, with the monthly range. So I think definitely this price action in the coming weeks will be very, very important, and definitely a lot of eyes will be watching this. And if you jump down to the daily chart, the thing that I'm seeing right now is that we still don't have that much weakness. We're still consolidating for a little bit longer, I would say, than we had been consolidating here before we broke out of 22K. And generally speaking, that is great. If we want to see consolidation and actually sustained continuation to the upside, that would be great to have a little bit more consolidation in this area, and then potentially have another leg to the upside to 25K. And actually, the next major area is around 30K, which I think is quite optimistic, but not out of the realm of possibilities. So let's see what's going to happen. This is one of the scenarios, by the way. And if we chop around this area, I will be very excited. I'm not gonna jump into Bitcoin or Ethereum. To be honest, I'm more and more likely to accumulate less Bitcoin now forward, if we don't break lower, of course, if we stay in this area. I'm really focusing on altcoins, and I want to build a really good diversified portfolio of altcoins. So if we keep these levels and if we see some consolidation, I think with another leg up, altcoins, especially good projects, are really going to start pushing higher and give us better risk to rewards compared to Bitcoin. That is, of course, my personal strategy. You can do whatever you want, and you can never go wrong with having Bitcoin and Ethereum, obviously. But I do have plenty of exposure to these two. And if we stay in this area, or if we have a retest here of the lower range here around 22K, and we still keep this, I will be very, very excited about altcoins and about the potential start of a bull market even. These are the couple of more bullish scenarios that I have. The base scenario, I would say, and actually the one that most people are watching is a retest of 18K. So everyone I know in the trading rooms that I participate and in our community, they're like, hey, we should have a pullback after so many green weeks. We're gonna have a pullback, and the most common area that everyone's watching, and even if we pull a fib retracement somewhere around here to this level, it will be a little bit deeper, but the 618 extension retracement, sorry, is around this area 20K. So potential pullback to this area is what everyone's expecting. So although this is the base case scenario, I would be surprised if we actually get this and if it happens exactly like everyone is expecting it to happen. It's just usually what happens in crypto. But if we have this, if this happens, then definitely altcoins will bleed a lot more. And I'll be very excited to buy some Bitcoin in this area, some Ethereum also. But mainly, as I mentioned, I'll be focusing on loading my bags on altcoins. So definitely, this is a base scenario that I'm also quite excited. The one that I'm not excited is the breakdown of this area and potentially retesting the lows of 15K and maybe go for a lower high here and then a continuation to 20K. I'm sorry, to 10K. If this happens, probably it will be caused by a black swan or something going wrong in the economy. That's just how I see things at the current moment that we're in. Not quite sure that unless we get a catalyst, that this is going to happen. We might also see something like what we had back here in the previous cycle. Let me just go to a weekly chart. I can show you. So we had a push after breaking out of this consolidation. Let me just clean this up. You can see here that we had a breakout similar to what we had right now. And then we had quite a lot of green here. And the trend got very quickly accelerated. And then we were in a slow grind to the downside for quite a while. Actually, the COVID bottom here, you can see, was this one. But definitely we were like grinding down for several months here. And this was quite painful, I would say. There were some ups and downs, obviously, and we were not testing the lows. But this was quite a lot of painful price action. And I'm not excluding this as another scenario. But to be honest, this probably is the least likely, at least from what I see right now on the charts and in general, the macro picture. So yeah, these are pretty much my ways that I'm reading the market currently. I just told you what I'm expecting to be doing. What if this happens? I was considering to take some more profits. I just let you know that I closed out my QNT position, and also I took some more profit on optimism. But to be honest, I don't really see any bearishness as of this moment. We're starting to break down today below this trend line here, but still we are at support, and this entire area around 23K has been just consolidating. So I don't really see signs of worries and signs that we are going to go lower. But even if we do, all the positions that I do have open right now, even with the latest buys that I had from Ethereum around 1200 and my link buys here from the lows around this area. What else? What did I? GNS has been on a tear. I bought it somewhere around $3 here. All of these positions are relatively small for me. And even if I just write it and we have a full retrace, let's say GNS does something like this. From here, just chops around and comes back right down to these levels. I don't mind this. These are still starter positions for me, and I'm looking to accumulate these for the long term, which means in my time frame, like a year or two. And within a year or two in crypto, this could be very, very volatile. And I'm willing to go through the volatility without trying to overtrade all of that's happening on the markets. The moment we start over trading, at least in my experience, we start losing money. The most profitable strategy that, at least for me, has been the most profitable for a long time is just buy tokens, research good projects, invest some money there, and just hold it while the trend starts developing. Take profits along the way, like I did with optimism, but then just leave big fat runners that will potentially make a lot of money. And I mean a lot of money, like 10, 20x's, guys, are not out of the realm of possibilities. And I was very hesitant actually to sell any of my optimism. But I was like, I need the discipline here. I need to practice discipline. I need to be taking profits at targets. But I still want to get more optimism because, as I mentioned, the position that I started here back in October was just a starter. And I definitely think that the next year will be great for accumulating projects. And if I just have a quick look at Ethereum, it has been consolidating for quite a while. It actually has been lagging a little bit from Bitcoin. But as you can see, again, no signs of real trend shift. It's just been consolidating in this ascending triangle. And potentially, if this plays out and consolidates for another month or so, the breakout here around 1700 could be very, very powerful one. And this will actually signal a really good run in the altcoins. At least in the past, it has been like this. One more thing that I want to mention here is that I'm starting to look into some NFTs. I'll keep you updated on what kind of projects I'm looking into once I have some time to research. But my idea is like, hey, I do have some Ethereum that I want to park in NFTs. Obviously, this is high risk compared to just holding Ethereum. Crypto is in general high risk, but NFTs are like risk on steroids, like altcoins on steroids. But I definitely see a bright future for NFTs going forward. And I'm willing to risk a small portion of my Ethereum to buy some NFTs just to, have like a leverage play on Ethereum. I'm going to do the same pretty much with Sol. I have some Solana leftovers from last cycle that I didn't sell. Let me just find Sol chart. Where did I leave it? Yeah, let me just find it like this. So I have some leftovers from Solana, and yeah, I'm not planning to sell it here, although it had run up quite a big number from the lows here. I'm just gonna put it into some Solana NFTs and see what happens. It's either zero or hero, pretty much in Solana's case. And I think the project will survive and the ecosystem of NFTs will thrive. So yeah, that's my potential NFT play. And then the most things that I've been focusing on is just really researching a lot of projects, guys. Like all of the tokens that I see here, like Optimism, Stargate, GNS, this is Galaxy, very interesting project, Magic, which is an NFT related, Rocket Pool, and so on and so on. There's just so many projects. I have around 40 projects on my list for research. And I'm very excited, to be honest, and I try to put as many hours as possible into the research. I'm going to be sharing everything with you, obviously, but I'm really excited about the type of projects that I'm seeing and the future that they could have. And I'll be more excited to just accumulate a lot of them. One of the last ones that I shared with you was Looks Rare. And as you can see, right after I share with you the report, it just had a big run up of a few green candles, like a couple of days, really big candles. We're still pretty much in this accumulation range. And even if it gets up to like 50 cents, I would say it's still in accumulation. So I will be very patient. And if we see a retracement, I was hesitant to buy some here just because of the run up that we had already on Bitcoin. But I'm not regretting this, to be honest, because I think the name of the game is patience. And within the next months, we're gonna see a great opportunities. And if price does something like this and presents, a little bit more price history here in this area, I will be more than happy to start buying on a weekly or a monthly basis some looks Same with something that I'm currently also looking into. This is a project called Galaxy, somewhere in this area around $50. I also am willing to accumulate. As you can see, not much price history here, which is great. This means not a lot of back holders, as you know. What else is on my list? Let me just quickly check. Magic is an NFT play similar to Looks Rare. This has also had a big run up. It's also a brand new token. And again, if we get a little bit more price history here, I didn't buy the lows, to be honest. It didn't come up to my radar this low. I probably would have bought some earlier. But still, I think it's quite early, and all of these projects have like 10, 20x potential. GMX has been doing very well. We are retesting here the all-time high breakout. I might add some, but if Bitcoin decides to roll over and we see lower prices, I'll be just patient. I'm not gonna sell anything here. I'm just gonna keep accumulating. Same with GNS, again, very small position. And if you're trying to buy this, just be very careful because the liquidity is very low. Another project that recently came on my radar is Kanto. This is related. I'm not sure what it's about yet because I haven't researched it, but it popped out here while I was looking at Synapse, another project, by the way, which is like a bridging solution. And as you can see, very nice accumulation here forming. So it had a pop here, and it was one of the new networks that they added, Kanto, I mean, to Synapse. And it also had a big run up. And this one is at all-time highs, as you can see, very good accumulation here, and just broke out of it. So if we retest, I might start buying some. I haven't done the research yet, so not gonna go too heavy. One that's also forming really nice price action is Hashflow. We've discussed this before, but as you can see, very clean TA. And that's also another reason why I like fresh new tokens, just because they make things so much easier. A few others that I'm looking into liquid staking is FXS. Again, it had an initial breakout out of the zone, and now again we're consolidating here, so I might start buying some. Little Finance is another one, very interesting. This is like the biggest market cap in the space of liquid staking. A lot of Ethereum is staked with them, and there are a lot of rumors going around. Once Ethereum updates and lets a lot of the tokens that are currently in Ethereum 2.0 and are not allowed to unstake, I think people expect everything to just get unlocked and people to sell. I don't think that will be the case, because projects like Lido, what they do is basically they allow you to stake your Ethereum, and at the same time they provide you another token which you can use as liquidity on DeFi. So it's in a way you get both the benefit of staking Ethereum and gaining the yield, and still having your Ethereum liquid and being able to trade, which could be double-edged sword. You can lose all your Ethereum if you're a complete degenerate. But still, I think it's a great solution, and more Ethereum will be staked with them. Very interesting project. So if you haven't done the research, make sure to take a look. And I've also spiced it up things like Bonk, which is a Solana meme token. And after the thing that happened with Doge last cycle, I think probably it has potential, but we're far behind the 100x gains on Doge. And I think other tokens like this one will take the lead when it comes to returns. And yeah, a lot of things, guys, a lot of tokens. I'm very excited. It's just so dynamic, the space, and they're just really a lot of innovation. So yeah, that's everything that I had to share. Let me see if we have any questions, and make sure if you have questions, post them in chat. I hope you will alert us along Ethereum breakout when it breaks. Oh, okay, you're saying that you want me to take the breakout on Ethereum. Possibly, yeah, it could possibly happen. We have to see how price action will look at that moment. Imagine this is a laggard and then Bitcoin gets overextended and we just get a fake out breakout like we did here, somewhere in this area. This was also the merge pump, but we broke above this area and then we just faked out. So we have to see how price action will look. But yeah, I might entertain a trade here. Why not? Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions. So if you guys don't have any questions, we can close it here. A shorter call today, but really it's just I think still people are slow to understand that crypto is preparing for another bull cycle, no matter what people think. So yeah, it will be excited. It will be exciting. Um, Everybody's mentioning that we'll get a recession. Maybe we're already in it. That makes me a bit afraid of getting more money. How do you see this? I'm in the same boat. I still think we might have a recession, which will be more severe. But then on the other side, you might not have this recession. It might be like everyone's talking about a recession. And I'm always saying, when everybody's talking about something, the probability of not happening is quite high. Everyone's got really smart after the financial crisis in 2008, after COVID, and so on. And all the talks are like, we're gonna get a massive recession. We're gonna do this. There's so much liquidity in the markets. The Fed is going crazy with interest rates, and these are all valid points. But I'm not seeing a drop in earnings. Earnings are still looking good. And you can see the GDP numbers are still looking good. You can see unemployment data is okay. So objectively, all the factors out there are actually looking decent. And we already might have been in a recession for a quarter or two. And we might have seen the worst. We don't know this, obviously. We could still chop if we open the S&P chart. We could still chop for a while here, and this could be the recession. And if we say a recession, it doesn't mean that it has to be a really bad one. It just could be a mild recession. So the answer is, yeah, we could be in a recession. We could see something like this. We might not never see lower prices, but even if we do, just position size accordingly and always ask yourself, like, how comfortable am I with my exposure right now? And how will I feel if prices go down like 50%? And ask yourself exactly the same on the opposite side. How will I feel with my current exposure if price go up 50%? And you need to find the balance between this. And for me personally, I'm totally fine. If we get a recession, the amount of cash that I still have on the sidelines is enough for me to take advantage of the situation. And I'm not too afraid that if we have a big run up, I will miss the boat. Although I do had some thoughts like this last week, as I shared with you guys. But I'm not really afraid of this just because there will be corrections on the way, and there are just so many opportunities, so many trades that we could see developing, that there's always a trade where I can enter, and I can enter with heavier size once we see really a confirmation of a bull trend. And that's why I'm saying here on Bitcoin, I'm waiting to see where the where the higher low potentially will come up. And there's many reasons to think that it will be around 20K. Worst case scenario, unless we get something like a black swan, like some companies have massive bankruptcies or something totally goes wrong. So we'll see. The answer is like we have no idea. It's all about position sizing and keeping enough dry powder to take advantage of opportunities, but also just look at price action. Like for example, if you have some exposure and if you took some trades here in the lows, like we did, and you're seeing price breaking down here below 22K, let's say, take some profit, close out some positions. Probably there will be another opportunity. If not to buy lower, something like this, if not to buy in this area around 20K, maybe, on a potential secondary breakout. There's nothing bad at taking a position at these levels, if this plays out, obviously. So, there's so many opportunities. And the best part is that you can see it all on the charts. It's not like we're just gonna crash. Well, maybe if we get a black swan like we got here with FTX, sure. But still, if you're active on the markets, you'll be able to see this. And if you have done some shopping here in the lows, you're in profit. So you might take less profit, but still you have opportunity to exit. Yeah, that was a really long answer to a relatively short question. Let's see what else. Next question. Is this bear market several known outs will not survive? In this bear market, several known outs will not survive. Which ones of these well-known outs do you see dying out? I don't know. That would be a wild guess. Few that I've seen are, let me just go down the list. Maybe something like Luna, obviously. To be honest, I have deleted a lot of the outs that are relatively old. Maybe something like 1inch, although it's a profitable uh, protocol. And what do you mean like by dying out? For me, dying out is not having new all-time highs. And I think 1inch might be one of them. And a lot of these, yeah, sand also, the sandbox might also not see an all-time high. Depends on the narratives, obviously. But yeah, in general, it doesn't really matter because I prefer not trading too many old projects just because of all the backholders they're gonna dump on me. Well, yeah. What else? Yeah, I don't see any other questions on the queue, guys. So if we uh, don't have questions, we just might end the call here. Cool. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your questions. And I'm going to see you in chat.